We've had a number of training sessions, awareness sessions, and we've also done, as Chief Minister said, a lot of training and awareness at senior executive and management level, because what we want to do is make sure that up and down the organisation into GHA we are also a dementia friendly organisation. The other thing is we started to do some work, and Karen will tell you more about it, is working with families, and she's working very closely with GADS, with Daphne, so that together we come up with actions jointly agreed. What I don't want to happen in the strategy is the GHA goes off and does one thing and everyone else does something else, and that's why we've been working very closely with housing, because we have to look at the housing needs of people with dementia and their families, and with the care agency with Carlos Banderas, who's the chief executive, looking at the social care elements as well. So all of that's coming together nicely now, and I would expect in the next few months what I want to do is I will be chairing, while I'm here, the National Dementia Steering Group, just like I've done in mental health, and I'm very much an action person. Get it done, how do we do it? And the first meeting we'll have in the next couple of weeks will be, right, what are the top 3 or 4 things we're going to do within the next 6 months that we can be managed against?
Just having a cursory look at statistics here, you said 366 diagnoses in the community. The estimates, according to Dementia Europe, or the group that makes estimates, would have it closer to, well, just over 550 based on 32,000, which is probably conservative for our population. Do you think there's a case of underdiagnosis in Gibraltar? If so, why would you put that down to?
I think internationally there's an underdiagnosis, and I think that's why with the strategy we want to create, if you look at the objectives, one of our key objectives is to create awareness out there and get people to come and get help sooner rather than later. Because often people with dementia and their families, when we speak to them, the families often say to us, well, mum or dad or someone wasn't well for the last few months or the last year or 2, but we just thought it was part of growing old. And our awareness is, look, if you're finding you're not coping as well as you have in the past, if your memory's getting a little bit weak, if you're not feeling yourself, or just things happening in your life that's bothering you, come and see your GP first. Then the GP can access our services so we can do an assessment. So I think a lot of countries are not really collecting the data significantly, and therefore we really don't have the numbers. What I am worried about is, if you look to the future, and if you look at the WHO, and if you look at the size of the population here in Gibraltar, I mean, by 2025, they're estimating we should have maybe nearly 650 to 700 people with dementia. And if you look at 2050, they're talking about over 1,000. Now, I don't want to frighten people off, because treatment is developing every day and we're getting new drugs which can slow down the process and you can be managed better in a community setting. But we do need to start talking about it and getting help sooner rather than later. That's what we want to do.
This is a hugely important day, both professionally, politically and personally. Professionally, because this enables the professionals in the GHA and in the care agency to be able to coordinate through other branches of government how we interact with the families and the individuals who may have dementia in our community. Politically, because it demonstrates the strong will of the government to ensure that we do join up all of the branches of government and care in a way that delivers for those families and individuals with dementia. And personally, because as people will know, my own family has been touched by dementia. I can think of very few families in Gibraltar that have not been, and therefore I think it's fundamentally important that the institution of government, whether it's just through the GHA or all of the rest of the branches of government, should be working together to support the individuals with dementia and the family members of individuals with dementia. And that's why appointing a coordinator and having a national strategy over a period of half a decade is fundamentally important. Today, in my view, is a seminal moment.